All right. Right up front, I want to apologize for any audio or video problems, but we're just doing this live. I'll edit this all out. I am here with my good friend. What's your last name? No, I forgot your last name. Matt Stewart. Well,
It's a little screwy. They want to have a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage. Has anybody been to a wedding? Could it be more gay? Let the gays get married for the love of Pete and Pete. You know it's right. You know it's right.
we're good friends in the sense that we only talk.
Good friends know each other's last names. You
We only talk to each other
son of a bitch.
when we're live. So
Yeah, that is true. So we refuse to talk to each other on the phone because we think it's going to ruin the podcast, which is hysterical. But we totally agree, which makes our relationship work perfectly. You call me on the phone, and you're like, I have so much to talk about. Yeah, hold it for the podcast. I don't want to talk to you. Okay, bye. And I hang up.
yeah. One of these days, we're going to be like in some kind of an emergency. It's like, I got the most important thing to tell you. And I'd be like, pause. And the next time I see you, like in a newspaper brief. Okay, so.
But people need to know that we're in the middle of a break.
It took two people to break up this relationship.
God, that's a first of all, that we were in a breakup, that you didn't want to do the show that I wanted to do. We did a big, very important Me Too show where we told a lot of stories about past, really like stuff that you probably shouldn't lay out there. And my feeling was some woman got to you and said, oh, that show you did was not good, Curtis.
My problem is people think I'm either dating someone, like constantly, or, constantly whoring around. And more, especially because of my strong views on marriage, what I typically do is I enter a relationship that's fairly long term, and then I'll go into another one. But, not something like just constant, what do you call them? Not the overnights, but, what do you call them? The one night stands.
One night stand.
Yeah, I don't constantly do that. Sometimes I do that, but often it's
Serial monogamous, I think they call them.
serial monogamous. But
Monogamous means you have like short relationships over and over and over again. So
thank you for those who miss him mansplaining. No, but if you want to get,
I'm just saying what people call me, or they come up with terms, for whatever. So,
but I think that's normal too. I think biologically, this is again, it sounds, these things that sound controversial. I don't know why they are considered controversial, because women are biologically designed to get pregnant for 9 months. Guys are biologically designed to just be popping and impregnating women constantly. They're not designed to wait 9 months while she's pregnant. So the cultural and the social and the ethical and just the natural trying to live in the world, those are the reasons why people will couple up and people don't run around and get people pregnant and all these different things. But biologically, as just base, dirty, disgusting animals, you're supposed to get a woman pregnant, move on, and then get somebody else pregnant, essentially.
The stuff you talked about made you... The stuff you talked about made you look like a douchebag, and you guys were two windbags just talking about women. But, guys have to have the freedom to talk like that, because we are scared and we are censored. And if someone gets in your head and tells you that the show that we do is shitty or is not cool, and you come back and say, oh, man, I don't know, I got some bad feedback on that show. I don't know what made you feel like that. But our show is about this. being as real and as genuine as my job and my marriage will allow it to be. That's what this show is about. That's what everybody needs to know.
So not genuine at all.
Well, yeah, and that's very true.
It's a joke.
No, it isn't. People should be laughing because everybody knows that's true, and everybody lives their lives, in a very phony, not genuine manner, and that's because that's the way society dictates it, And I just don't like it. I hate it. I hate that that's the world we live in. So every once in a while, Curtis, we try to get as close as we can to the edge of losing my job or losing my marriage or whatever for the sake of doing some fucking silly podcast that everybody says, "What are you two doing? What is that? I don't understand." We're trying to break some ground here, man. We're trying to be real, so it's not easy. So
how do we learn? How do people learn? Like, I'm starting to think men learn after the fact, like after something's already too late, like after something's broken or the lesson is already, you can't go back and fix it. Like, I think women sort of like figure the guy out right away. And then they're like, look, you need to change. And so the guy's like, F you. I'm not going to change. I'm a man, right? And only until that woman is gone, in our case as women, and then you come back and you're like, oh, yeah, maybe she was right because now she's gone. So what's your take on that?
I agree with that, but here's what I would say to you, and this is really hard for any relationship to do, but I think it's a little bit easier today, and I was just saying to this, so this other guy, so real quickly, we contacted each other because I did a show last night. But my kids her friends are about to show up. I did a show last night in New Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey, with a guy named Weedman. It was booked by a guy named Markland. He was the booker of the show. And we got into a discussion about this because we were saying how people aren't real when they talk about things. And I was saying you need to establish right away in a relationship, like, I'm going to be bluntly honest about everything. Whether you can handle it or not, that's your thing. So if you have parameters or if you have issues with whatever my weird badness or ugliness is, if you have an issue with it, then you got to say something, and we'll negotiate from there. But if you hold back right away with a woman and you don't tell her everything about you, then you're going to be, the whole relationship's a lie. But no one does that anymore. So, and that's the thing.
It doesn't necessarily even work. I mean, again, this is going to sound...
But it can. See, but you say that because society tells you that, right? But, like, here's examples of what you could do. You can text a lot. You can create a journal that you share on a phone. So, like, you journal each day to each other, and you express to each other exactly what's going on in your mind. And then the woman obviously can say, like, so let's just say for me, anything goes sexually, and I'll just throw it out there. And if she goes, well, that doesn't work for me, and that doesn't work for me, then I, as a man, have to go, okay, that's cool, I respect that, but I just want you to know that it lives in my head. She's like, yeah, it lives in your head, but we're not doing that. But I thank you for expressing it. So she gets to draw the line. I'm just saying you need to have open communication and negotiation. It's not just like, here I am, and you got to accept me. Like you said, there does have to be negotiation and parameters. So I respect that. But I don't want to live with someone who doesn't understand everything that's going on in my mind. And obviously, I don't think I'm normal because so much is going on in my mind.